No, I'll just let it go, and then I can edit it afterwards and get rid of I'll go through it and edit out my my coughing
You
fits
cough and
and
everything.
my bathroom breaks and you know, my sitting here dumbfounded and not sure what to do. I'll edit all that out, so make sure it's a nice sexy looking video.
Right. Fantastic. Okie dokie.
Okay. Hey everybody, this is Dave here at Pulp Alley, and this is a really special event today. This is a game that I'm getting to play with Chris Abbey in the UK. Now, Chris Abbey, of course, is the leader, him and Anne over there at Sally Forth, a wonderful company in the UK that has been a huge supporter of Pulp Alley from the very beginning. So we really do appreciate everything that Chris Abbey does over there at Sally Forth in the UK. Today, we're getting a chance to play with Chris. He has a table set up for a brand new scenario that I designed up. Now, it is loosely based on a scenario that I did back for the old China Station scenario, but it is a little bit different. So we are going to have a new published scenario for it. But if you do have those old cards for the House of Lao out of the China Station campaign, then you're going to be able to use those cards for this scenario as well. But the scenario is a little bit different. Now, this is all part of a very cool Kickstarter that's going right now. I would definitely encourage you to get over to Kickstarter and check out this really cool project that is going. Ian Lovecraft and Chris Abbey have something really special. And rather than me try to explain it, I'm going to let Chris tell you all about it. So, Chris, take it away.
Hi. So yeah, I'm Chris from Sally Forth, and as David said, this is our first Kickstarter collaboration with Ian Lovecraft, who I've admired as a 3D sculptor for many years. So this year we've started putting together some novel approach Kickstarter campaigns that incorporate both 3D models and physical copies of the miniatures if you want them in plastic, which you can just get sent through the post, paint up, and start using sort of straight away. So this.
Hey Chris, I want to interrupt there because I think that's something that might deserve a little bit more of an explanation. When you say plastic, are these 3D printed, or what process are you using to create plastic miniatures?
Yeah. Okay. So this is a process called Cast.
Yeah.
It's sort of originated in Spain and is very exciting because it allows small manufacturers like ourselves to do casting runs of several hundreds rather than several thousands of figures. And it's a sort of an injection molded technique where a pellet of plastic is sort of forced is forced through a mold, and we're very pleased with the results that we've had from them. And
that's awesome.
They're nice and light. They glue a bit easier than metal miniatures, and it's something that we're kind of looking to progress this year with other subjects as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, our first this sort of first venture is called Harlot's Den, and it's kind of a bit sort of inspired by one of my favorite fantasy sort of TV shows, and for copyright reasons we won't mention it, but it does kind of sort of start off with a king dying in a hunting accident, and various sort of rumors of there being an heir because the king liked to visit houses of pleasure, etc. So what we have in the Kickstarter is basically 14 miniatures. 8 of them are young ladies, and we have some that we are using as kind of as set dressing that aren't necessarily playing a part in the scenario today, but they sort of add to the feel of the place. And I think the great thing is that these can actually be used for a wide number of periods. They wouldn't look out of place in a Western or a
Yeah.
Victorian, because there's sort of a lot of the ladies have crinoline dresses and well-buttoned corsets, and would do anything fantasy, medieval, Wild
Very
West,
cool.
Victorian. So then we have some the Kickstarter also includes some furniture, some armchairs, and some couches, which some 6 of the miniatures sort of fit on those. So we have a sort of a seated character who's going to be one of our plot points tonight, and we have a young lady reclining on a couch, who again is going to be one of the plot points in today's scenario. Then we have 4 standing characters, which is sort of inspired by a fantasy epic. So we have the young lion.
Very cool.
We have his brother, Short Sword, who is rather good at diplomacy and intrigue, but not quite as good as the spy master, who is the absolute sort of master of intrigue. And I think that you'd agree, David, that the characters like this, the spy master, would fit in a wide range of cultural genres.
Yeah. All through, just, once again, you could go for the Old West and Victorian. That's a character that you could put in a fantasy setting if you're playing D&D or RuneQuest or whatever. Call of Cthulhu, that would be a great cult leader or something like that. So yeah, there's so many of these figures that you could use just in a lot of different settings. And that's one of the things that I really like about them.
Fantastic. And the last protagonist character is the king's loyal steward or advisor.
Very cool.
So I think the 4 protagonists can be used in many settings, and as I said, the young ladies as well would fit in with all sorts of gaming settings. The Kickstarter is in its final week, so it sort of finishes on Friday the 10th. All of the stretch goals have been met, so we've already added in some extra figures, some extra pieces of furniture, and very excitedly, I've put together some character cards for Pulp Alley. So all of the 4 protagonists are available as both leaders and sidekicks, and the scenario that David has written and Ian Lovecraft has illustrated.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah, so this is available as a sort of 3D as a free PDF download, as one of the stretch goals that everybody who backs the project, whether it's for physical or STL. And the other thing to mention is that we're kind of ready to ship. All of the plastic miniatures have been made. And
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so a week after Kickstarter, once Kickstarter have released the funds, and we know exactly who's backing it. Now we will be putting address labels on hundreds of little boxes and sending them out around the world.
Very cool.
And also, if you we've only just started last year working with Ian and making some of his other miniatures available in metal. So as add-ons, we have box sets of Ian's pirates, of the Robin Hood figures, of zombies, and the Peter Pan miniatures, all of which are sort of great for using in Pulp Alley.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you what, Ian Lovecraft is one of those sculptors that I've been really impressed with, and I think sometimes 3D models can, not have the same level of character, if you know what I mean, as, the old traditional sculpting, because there's an artistry there. But Ian really brings a lot of character and a lot of artistry to his 3D sculpts. And I really like his Norse stuff as well. I think he does some really amazing Nordic figures as well. So definitely check out the stuff that's available through Sally Forth. Get over there to the Kickstarter for Harlot's Den, because it's some beautiful, beautiful miniatures that you don't want to miss out on.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a bit of a secret, but as we're all Pulp Alley fans here together, the Nordic, the Viking figures are actually going to be our next Kickstarter, which we are working on.
Oh,
In the next 3 or 4 weeks,
oh, very cool.
we will have the new Viking figures available either, and this is an even bigger experiment, that they're going to be available 3D print, plastic, or metal.
Wow.
And we're really interested to see whether miniature fans and collectors prefer metal or plastic. And the only way that we can really test that
Is to
to make
offer them all three, huh? Yeah.
is to offer them all
That's
three and see what the
yeah.
breakdown is.
Yeah. What are folks really going to go after? And that's interesting. I think another advantage of the plastic, and maybe, you could correct me, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think another advantage of the plastic is that they're lighter to ship as well, especially once you're, shipping a large quantity of figures. So there's a little bit of an advantage there. Now, I have not seen the Siocast, and that's something that's been talked about quite a bit recently. So I'd like to get a side-by-side comparison sometime, and really see, does the quality really hold up? So I'm interested to see how that is.
Okay, so these are some of the Siocast figures in the raw, still on the sprues.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my perspective, 3D printing is absolutely awesome. You can do it at home. It's brought thousands of miniatures, variety, and that sort of thing. As a gamer, yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword. If you I haven't dropped one on the floor that hasn't broken. It's a bit of a fragile medium, especially with swords and thin arms, sort of thing.
Brittle. They're brittle, aren't they?
They
don't take much bending. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So they're a bit fragile, and if I'm spending a lot of time painting a miniature, I really want it to last at least as long as I'm going to last.
Mm-hmm.
So the metal miniatures, well, they're really, I mean, they last forever.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of heavier, they're a bit more expensive, and sometimes if you drop them because they're heavy, you might bend a weapon or something like that. Whereas plastic ones are a bit lighter, and I find that quite often if you drop a plastic figure, it will just bounce and it won't come to any harm. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of my perspective on the strength. I mean, all of them have strengths and weaknesses, and that's why Ian and I are really interested to put all three side by side at slightly different costs, because the cost of production is different for all three, and to see what gamers and collectors go for.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So I guess we're best move some figures and roll some dice.
Yeah, let's play.
So do you want to talk us through the special rules?
Okay, let's take a look at them. The first one is limited visibility. So because there's a lot of stuff throughout the area, line of sight is limited to 12 inches. I don't think it's going to be a big impact on the scenario, but there's a lot of curtains hanging. There's, areas that it might be smoky or dimly lit. So 12 inches for line of sight.
Yeah.
So what we don't want to do at the start of the scenario is frighten off the heir. We are really here to try and find the heir, locate who it is. We don't know if it's male or female or anything like that. So we're just here to ask questions and figure out, is this person really here? And we don't want to frighten them off. So we don't go in there with swords drawn, holding knives to people's throat and scaring everybody. So one of the rules is called polite society. And that means that whenever the heir is not on the table, we're not allowed to attack or rush an enemy, nor can we just go running roughshod through the place. So we're not allowed to move over 6 inches, but we can attempt to employ underhanded tactics. And those are the 3 special rules that exist whenever the heir is not on the table. As soon as he appears, all of those rules go out the window and swords may be drawn at will. As far as the underhanded tactics, this is very common to a lot of our social style scenarios. And what that means, as an action, a player character can basically try to taunt or trick or bully an enemy character that is within 3 inches, and you get to challenge them to an opposed skill, and the active character gets to pick it. So if you're big and brawny, then you're going to try and bully the other guy and make him move away. If you have height and cunning, then you can kind of trick them in some way into moving away. So that's pretty fun as well. There is a rowdy party moving through the area, which I suspect has been bribed and has been sent here possibly by the Queen to create some disruption. But the rowdy party is a large, perilous area, 6-inch diameter area that's going to be wandering through the area, just wreaking havoc and making it a little bit difficult for the player characters to do what they want to do. The minor plot points represent personalities that you're supposed to talk to. The uncontrolled plot points wander 8 inches in a random direction at the end of each turn, so they're constantly moving around through the area. And then there is the heir. So if you draw, when you're drawing a reward card, if you draw the friendly introduction card, if the heir is not on the table, then you get to place the major plot point marker 1 die 8 inches from the center of the table in a random direction. So that gets the heir onto the table. Basically, by talking to the minor plot points, they may point you in the direction of someone who they go, I think it's that person over there. And then you have to go talk to what you think might be the heir and see if you can convince them to follow you or to come with you, or that you're there to protect them, that sort of thing.
Okay, so let's have a little look at the ground, at the sort of table where we're going to be playing. So the main feature is an inn. It's got two main rooms. There's a sort of back room and there's a front room. Now, I've played a few games on this, David, and I found that having just a sort of one door is a bit of a choke point. So what we normally say is that the windows count as French windows that you can come in and out of as if they're a door. So we have another building. Yeah, we have another building here, and I think that I'll take the roof off of that so that we can just go into there if we need to. So my thought there was that this is maybe a more discreet facility for the more discerning customer of the House of Pleasure. Because horses are the main transport, we have a lot of outbuildings. We have stables, we have a hayloft with a carriage, and we have a sort of outdoor, an outdoor area. As far as the plot points, because of what I had available and what's in the Harlot's Den set, we actually said that the heir is going to be the heir's mother. So
Okay.
the heir isn't actually with us, but this no, the lady pulling her stockings up on the armchair is the heir's mother.
Okay. So by
Yeah.
by finding her, then she will let you know who the heir is.
Oh,
So
she certainly knows who
yeah.
the heir is and where his blacksmith shop is. Oh, I didn't say blacksmith, did I?
Oh,
You best
where
did
he,
delete that bit.
where he might be
Okay.
hiding.
Where the heir, whoever he might be,
Mm-hmm.
could be hiding.
Very
So we
cool.
have our four minor plot points. Major plot point is off the table. So what do we need to do? I think we probably need to roll for the director.
Okay. Let's see. Well,
So
we have a table set up. So we have our leagues. Each of us have three. This is a special setup for this scenario where each player has three characters and they are all level 3.
the league that David is playing is based on the king's advisor,
Mm-hmm.
the spy master, and a beggar who is sort of one of the no sort of one of the contact points of the spider or the spy master, sort of part of his web. And my league is made up of the young lion, short sword, his brother, and a giant of a man, who's one of the family retainers.
Very good. Very good.
So you've rolled a 7, which is a familiar area. Shift your die type up when rolling for starting director.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm rolling a d10 for my league, and I've got 8. So that means that I have a friendly local.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
again, a random level 1 backup character for the scenario, which could be a brawler, shooter, an animal, or a scout. Well, should we miss the animal out?
Doesn't
Because
matter
I
to
haven't.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
So I think rolling a d6, that would be a 5 or 6 would be a scout.
Okay.
And I'm gonna this guy here armed with a club is going to be the scout that's going
Okay.
to join my league.
So as a level 1 character, level 1 scout will have 1 dice in everything except for his dodge, and his dodge will have 2 dice. Let's
So
see. Now I guess we would roll for starting initiative, right? So I'll roll a d8.
yeah,
And oh, we're supposed to place the plot points next.
okay.
We're
So
supposed
we'll
to
take
place.
take it in turn. So if you'd like to place the first plot point, which is the captain. So this
Okay.
is the guy in the armchair.
I think that back the big building, that back room. Let's put him back there.
Okay, right. So he
Yep. Good.
in
Perfect.
in the back room.
Yep.
Um. Okay. Well, I'm going to place the next plot point is Master Tordoff. And I think that he is going to be in this small building to the side. That's maybe his
Okay.
personal accommodation.
All right.
So it's in the northeast corner of the building.
Okay. I see him there. Let's see. Is that kind of a bar over there in the corner of
This is a
that?
bar. Yes.
Okay. Um, find somewhere over towards that area that we could put one of the ladies lounging on the couch.
Okay. Well, it's funny you should say that, Dave, because just hiding behind the bar was an empty couch. So
Ah, There
So
we go.
if I take that out and
Good.
I put an occupied couch in its place, then we're sorted.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I think for sake of for symmetry, I think we'll put the other young lady who is Miss Delora sort of at the other end
Yep.
of the
That's
main
a
building.
good spot. Good spot.
Okay, so I think they're pretty much spread out. We haven't got anybody lurking in the hayloft, but yeah, I think that's a good spread.
All right. So next we'd roll for director. You're going to roll a D6 and I'll roll a D8, and High Die will start off as the director.
Okay, so your D8 rolls a 5, and my D6 also rolls a 5. So let's have another go.
Okay.
And you've rolled a 2 and I've rolled a 1. So it looks like you're the director.
All right.
So I will put my director clipperboard over there by your name so that we don't forget that you are the director at the moment.
Okay.
So what we should be doing now is deploying. So you choose your starting corner.
I think I'll choose the corner that is closest to the main entrance, what looks like the main entrance to me. So I guess I don't want to be within, or I cannot set up within 6 inches of Miss Delora. So I guess possibly right outside the door or just inside the door.
I think sort of 6 inches puts you just outside the door.
Okay, that works for me.
So do you want all 3 characters together?
Yep.
By the door?
Yep. Just line them up.
Right. So I think it probably makes sense for me to take this other corner with the intention of talking to the owner, who is around here. And I was saying that the advantage of having multiple sidekicks is, of course, that you can really have kind of 2 teams going on slightly different directions. So I'm going to put my giant and my short sword sort of heading for the inn, and I'm going to put the lion and our backup just outside the door for the separate dwelling.
Very good.
Okay, so I guess we need some fortune cards.
I guess that perilous area ought to be placed. It starts off just in the center of the table. So that'll help identify where is the center of the table. That's where the rowdy party is.
Yeah, okay. So
is it that maybe that red chair in the corner? Is that
so I mean strictly speaking it would be there. So I think
okay, let's just say it's the red chair.
Yeah, see in that corner.
That's close enough. Yeah, that's close enough.
Right, so I've shuffled the fortune deck. So shall I give you 3 cards?
Sure.
Okay, and I'll tell you what they are. So you have lucky break.
Okay.
Bad luck.
Okay.
And stunned.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll draw for myself. And no, obviously normally we keep it secret, but as I know what you've got, it seems fair that we go through. So I've got clear shot, trip up, and stunned. So I believe you're the director, David.
Okay.
So it's up to you to choose to act or for me to act.
Okay. I'm going to ask you. So we're starting turn 1 here, and as the director, I get to decide. As long as I am the director, I get to decide who has to activate the next character. And I'm going to ask you to activate, Chris. Go ahead and activate somebody.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to move. The young lion is going to activate, and he is going to move up to where the owner is. Obviously, he set up more than 6 inches away, so he can't interact with him this turn.
Correct. And I'm going to ask you to activate again.
All right. Okay. So my giant is going to move six inches, which is going to put him just outside this French window.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to activate your last character.
Right. Okay. My second to last, because I have a very useful.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You do have one more
as a backup. Okay. So short sword is going to move up and stand by the giant, but as one of his skills is deductive, he's also going to draw a fortune card.
All right.
Okay. Which is sidestep. So that's my 3 sidekicks activated.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to activate another one.
Yeah. Okay. So my friendly scout is going to sort of come and stand by the door, ready to to back up the boss if anything goes wrong.
Okay, let's see here. So I'm going to activate the spy. Would you like to play a card?
Okay, so he's been Oh no, he's playing a card.
No, I'm asking you if you would like to play a card when I activate, just out of politeness.
Well, as you asked, unfortunately, the spy has got very long robes, and as he steps over the doorway, he trips up.
Oh, scoundrel that you are.
And can only move 3 inches.
All right. I'll take my 3-inch move and move 3 inches towards the young lady on the lounging on the couch. Yeah.
Okay, so the spy master is in the room.
Then I'll go ahead and activate the 2 remaining characters, and they're going to both move 6 inches towards. They're going to go inside, and then they'll continue towards the bar area.
Towards the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Jolly good. So I think that's everybody activated.
So remember again, folks, what we're trying to do here is come in here and question some of the folks that are inside the harlot's den to find out the location of the heir. So right now, the king has died, and everyone or a lot of people are very uncomfortable about who is the heir apparent, who everyone thinks is going to try to ascend to the throne, possibly some sort of scoundrel. So they're desperately looking to find out if there is another heir that they can try to prop up on the throne and stop the other fellow from taking the throne.
Yeah.
That ends turn number 1. I need to draw a card for the spy master. He has that deductive ability, so he did his 3-inch move and then he would draw a card.
Okay, so what you've drawn is I'm all right.
There we go. I like to have it. I'm all right.
So
okay.
I believe at the end of the turn, the rowdy crowd moves D8 in a random direction?
It does. It does indeed. It needs to move over there to that big fella trying to squeeze through the French doors, the French window. That's where it needs to go.
That would be nice, but they've actually moved 4 inches
into the back room. Yeah.
In a westerly sort of direction, which puts them in the back room.
Yeah. Right on top of the minor plot point, huh?
Right in front of the minor plot point.
Okay.
So, just to remind everyone that underhand tactics, this taunting and tricking, you have to be within 3 inches, don't you? So
correct. Yes.
We'll see a bit of that in turn 2.
Yes, undoubtedly.
Right. So, okay. So I will take. No, I won't, because we're playing for eight turns.
Okay.
We're playing for 8 turns.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, we'll turn the cards over, and we both draw a fortune card.
Yep.
So you have got clear shot.
Okay.
And I have got double tap. Okay. So you are still the director.
Okay. So what I'm going to try to do is move the advisor 6 inches towards him.
Okay, so this is towards the French window that is standing. Yeah.
And I think that's going to get me within 3 inches of you.
Yeah, so it's 3 inches and a wall. Is that okay?
Oh, sure. I'm not going to count the wall. We're gonna say I'm going to bully you through the window.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm going to try to. I'm going to try. That you got it. You got it. I'm going to let him know that he is not welcome, and he needs to find somewhere else to carouse this evening. So this is an underhanded tactic. I'm going to roll my might, and you're going to have to roll your might. So 3 die 8 versus 2 die 6.
Yeah. Okay. You've definitely found his disadvantage, haven't you?
I'm going to bully him. I'm going to try and chase him out of here.
Okay. So the advisor rolls a 1, a 3, and a 6.
Okay, I got 1 success. That's not good.
1 success. And the short sword, the little guy, has rolled a 3 and a 4.
Okay, so that's going to be a tie, and that means nothing happens.
Yeah. Okay, good try. It looks like he's held his own.
He did hold his own, and that's not good. All right, well, we're gonna go for it again, and this time it's gonna be the beggar.
Right.
And the beggar is gonna move 6 inches towards the giant.
Right, who's also standing ready to come through the French windows.
Uh-huh.
And you're going to tell me, no, to be honest, I think they're 4 inches apart, because the giant stands in the other side of short sword.
All right. All right. Well, I guess I'll just do nothing then. And then I'm going to ask you to activate a character.
Okay. Well, I have
almost got it.
The young lion is in this sort of private dwelling, and he is going to move up to the owner and ask him if he knows who the heir's mother might be. Okay, so this is a straightforward prop point.
Hold
So
on,
he
hold
might
on.
be up.
Hold on a second. Did we forget to do something? Let me look here. Let's see. Minor plot points. Each I controlled. Oh, we should have moved the minor plot points at the end of the turn. I guess we'll skip it. We'll skip it. But let's see, because they're supposed to wander, so they're not at the same location, on the next turn each turn.
Yeah.
So we'll skip it. When the minor modifier challenge, draw one of the scenario cards instead of a normal reward
in
card.
fact, so David, I haven't activated, and you weren't going for a plot point, so there's really no reason why we shouldn't move them now.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So
each each one of the minor plot points, and they are characters that are wandering around. They're just going to move a die 8 inches in a random direction. So just pick one out and roll.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start with the owner, and he is going to move 4 inches in a westerly direction.
Okay. Almost. Okay. Yeah.
So that's going to kind of.
So he steps outside the door, it looks like.
No. He's
still inside. Okay.
Yeah, 4 inches just puts him at that end of the room by the fireplace.
A dramatic fireplace discussion.
A dramatic fireplace. So the guy who is sitting on a chair, the master, the old captain.
Mm-hmm. In the back room.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he is moving 3 inches, which really, because he's in a room, that's as far back as he can go. So he's back against that back wall. So the young lady by the bar.
All right.
Right. Well, she rolled 4 inches in that direction. As she's against the wall, she can't really go any further. Okay,
leave it there.
The lady by the French windows there, she is moving a couple of inches in that direction, which will put her kind of over there. So that's all 4 of them moved.
Okay, good.
Okay, so that means that the owner is now 4 inches away, but I can move up to 4 inches and interact with a plot point. So I believe he might be unhappy that I'm in his
Chris, when you activate, I'm going to play bad luck on you, and you need to get rid of one of your cards at random.
Okay, fair enough. You like your dirty tricks, don't you, David?
I do indeed. The spy master.
Okay, so I'm going to roll a d8, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's sidestep that goes.
All right.
So as you said, the owner might be unhappy that the young lion is in his private residence. And what we're looking at is 2 successes with might or finesse.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like it's a bit of a physical sort of standoff sort of thing, but luckily the young lion is a pretty tough sort of guy, so he's rolling 3d8.
All right, you're gonna have to get 2 successes.
And also he has a brute which will allow him to re-roll one of them if he needs to.
All right.
But he's rolled a 4, 5, and a 6.
There you go.
So he'll save that for if he needs it later. So that was the peril, and the challenge to get him talking is 1 with cunning.
That's his weak spot.
Well, no, not really. He's got 46 with cunning, so yeah, finesse and dodging are what he's not good at, because his a straight in there,
Yeah.
and is a bit of a blunt instrument.
There you go.
So would you believe it? Four dice, and I have only rolled one success,
That's all
which
you
is
needed.
which is all I needed. So I shouldn't
Very good.
complain. So in this scenario, rather than taking a specific plot point, I draw from the scenario deck.
Mm-hmm.
So it says friendly introduction.
There you go. That means the heir is placed on the table, or in this case, the mother is placed on the table.
All right. Oh, that's pretty good. So, and is it the sort of normal rules that it has to be 6 inches from a character and a plot point?
Nope. It's going to be 1d8 inches from that red chair in a
Right.
random 1d8 in a random direction from the red chair.
Okay. Right. So it's 8 inches in a southerly direction.
Goodness me, oh my. That basically puts her
sort of sitting right in front of your advisor, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, but am I right in thinking because I solved a plot point, I become the director?
Checking that right now. Remove the plot point marker. Scenario reward. Yes, you are now the director.
That's normally happens in Pulp Alley, doesn't it?
Yes. When you get a reward card, you and that's a scenario reward. You got the friendly introduction. Remove the plot point from the table. So that particular character or a personality, the owner over there in the cottage, he's actually removed from the table now. He does not want to be associated with this whatever's going on any longer, so he sneaks away.
Right. Okay. And I guess that sort of maybe chaos is about to break out, because now we know who the heir's mother is. I believe that that sort of swords are loose in their scabbards. Is that right?
That is exactly right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is exactly right.
Well, in that case, I'm a bit concerned about the safety of my little fella after this bullying. So I'm going to send my giant in first.
Okay.
So I'm going to activate my giant if you want to do anything.
I don't have anything to give you right now.
So he is 4 inches away from your advisor, and he's going to move up and brawl. So I guess because he's moved over 3 inches, you could shoot or dodge your brawl.
Yep. Yeah, I guess I'll brawl you back. I got 4d8 also.
Yeah.
I'm gonna brawl. I'll throw 4d8 back at you.
Yeah. Okay. The advisor is also pretty handy with the sword.
Yeah.
So I got 3 successes.
Okay.
Two 5s and a 6.
Alrighty.
And David, rolling the red dice for you.
Okay.
You also got 3 successes. So you got a 4, a 5, and a 7.
All right. So as the active character, the giant can choose how he wants to resolve this fight. That's one of the awesome things about Pulp Alley. You don't just roll the dice and find out what happens. You roll the dice and then you decide what happens. So what is the giant thinking here? Is he just going for as much damage as possible, or is he trying to protect himself a little bit?
Yeah, no, he's going to try and protect himself. So
okay.
The 2 5s can match your 4 and a 5. So we will both roll 1 dice for damage.
All right, I'll take it.
Okay. So I'm rolling the red dice for your advisor. And he's rolled an 8, so he's absolutely okay.
All right.
And the giant has rolled, a 5 as well. So yeah, sort of nothing very much has happened.
But
They've locked
horns.
Yeah, so we've both taken a combat action. So I'm going to put one of my power token on each of them. And that's him activated. So I'm going to activate the short sword, the little guy. So do you want to do anything on activation?
Yeah.
No. Okay. So he is going to take. So he can move 6 inches. So he's going to take a kind of a circular route, sort of round the back of the giant, to have a word with the heir's mother from the safe side.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to do anything before I roll for a challenge?
I got nothing. Go ahead.
Okay, so the challenge for the little fella, and it really is his day. It's 1 with might, finesse, or cunning.
All right.
And as we said, that sort of cunning is very much what he does. So
4d8.
He's going to roll 48 for cunning. So he is going to put a sort of smooth talking proposition.
I don't think she's buying it. She's not buying what he's selling.
Well, we got 2 successes, say otherwise.
All right.
Okay, so that is overcome the peril, so she's not going to slap him around the face.
She almost did.
So we have to actually get some information out of her, 2 with cunning or might. And yeah, his might just isn't his style. He's going to continue with the persuasive line of reasoning. Oh, you are joking. You are so joking. I've rolled 48. I've got a 1, a 2, and 2 3s.
Oh my gosh. Yay!
How does that happen? How does that happen?
Yay!
Okay,
the dice.
So okay, so he hasn't pulled it off.
And that card does become the set challenge now. So if somebody else moves up there,
yeah, it does.
So that'll stay in play.
We'll leave it there by the staircase for later.
Good idea. You still have 1 character that hasn't activated, but you don't have to activate. You could make me go.
Yeah. Okay. So over to you, David.
All right. Gosh, I don't like this. Let's see.
So I think you've just got your spy master to go.
I do. I have my spy master. And so I'm really trying to decide whether or not I want to try and move the spy master in to try and force short sword away from the girl, the mother. But I have one other dirty trick that I could try. Could you put your finger out there and just show me where my spy master is located?
So he is 10 inches away from short sword.
Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up to that lady that is lounging on the couch, and I'm gonna have a little chat with her.
Okay, that sounds very reasonable. So,
if you could move me over towards her head.
Okay. So I haven't got anything that I can do to interfere at the moment. So
All right. I'm going to try that plot point.
the challenge is 2 successes with might or finesse.
Well, I'll have to use the finesse.
Yeah.
3 die 8. Let me take a look here at my abilities. Once per turn, shift your might, finesse, or cunning down to gain 2 extra dice. I'm going to need 2 successes on 3 die 8. I think I can do that. Let's just go with it. I'm going to save that ability if I need it for my cunning.
Okay. So
3 die 8.
3d8, and you're looking for 2 successes.
Yep. I can do that. I can do that all day long.
David.
Oh my gosh.
How would you feel if I said you've got 2 1 the 2?
Oh well, yeah, that sounds like one of my die rolls actually. That sounds exactly like what I would roll.
Okay.
Okay.
So because this was a challenge,
Yeah.
and so you need to take 2 health checks.
Yep. Go ahead and roll it.
And you rolled a 4 and a 6. So
okay.
No problem. She's humiliated a bit, but no lasting damage.
Oh, that was awful. That was so important. That was probably that was an important one right there.
Yeah, well, the same thing happened to short.
I know. He should have got through that. He should have got through that for sure. Both of those. And you know what? That's part of the fun. If everything was mapped out and planned in advance, that would take some of the fun away. So once in a while, the dice still get to jump up and bite you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, brother. You still have a character.
I've just got my minor character, and he is going to start heading round to the main building. So it's 2 inches to the door and 4 inches this way. So that puts him about there. So that is all of the characters. Right. And now we need to roll for the rowdy crowd.
The rowdy crowd, yes. The rowdy crowd's going to move.
So it's not more than 12 inches from the center. So it's just moving in a random
direction. Yep.
Okay, so it's moving 6 inches this way, which I think is going to put it just about here by this bookcase.
Looks good.
Okay.
Yes.
The other bystanders will step back as it is a rowdy crowd. Then the plot points, they all get to move around.
Yep.
Yep. So we'll start with the captain in the back room.
Okay.
And he has had a complete change of plan. Maybe he's done everything that he wanted to do in the back room, and he's moving 7 inches.
Okay.
Which puts him in the main part of the building, just there. The young lady that you were talking to on the couch, David.
All right.
She is moving a couple of inches in this direction.
All right.
So still very much within reach. The lady on the couch at the far end is moving to the far side of the bar. Well, in fact, she's moving right down. She is now in this corner of the building.
All right.
And I guess the all important
the major plot point. Yeah. Mother.
Yeah. Well, she is just moving 2 inches into the building. So in fact, just the other side of Short Sword.
All right.
So all of the tokens, the activations from last turn come off. So this is turn 3.
Yep. It's an 8-turn scenario.
Yeah. So I've just drawn your fortune card for this turn, and it is sidestep.
I think
before you roll
I think that's yours, since you're the first Since you're the director, the first card would be yours.
Okay, so I get sidestep, and you get misfortune, which is a
Misfortune.
far handier card in this scenario. When an opponent plays a fortune card, the effect is cancelled.
Misfortune.
Just for the hell of it, because I still didn't like the bullying of the little guy. So
Oh,
the giant.
The
Yeah,
giant activates first.
The giant is going to activate first, and he is going to. No, in fact, he's just gonna hit the advisor.
All right. Well, they're pretty
Yeah.
evenly matched, so I guess the advisor will fight back.
No, in fact, I'm not. I'm going to taunt him with my might.
You know what? Those rules are no longer in effect because
Are they not?
Yeah, because Mama is on the table. So
okay, in that case, as you were, I'm just going to hit you.
Yeah. The gloves have come off. Polite society no longer means anything.
Okay, so the giant has 4 successes.
Oh, goodness me, oh my. All right, well, I'll throw 4 successes back at you.
Okay, so red dice for the advisor and 3 successes. So you rolled a 4, a 6, and an 8. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to cancel the 4 and the 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the 5 and the 6.
Okay.
And I'm going to do two wounds on you and 1 on me.
Okay.
Yeah, so deal 2, take 1. So these are your health checks.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to play my I'm all right, and I'm going to say no. Instead of rolling, I just want to play my I'm all right.
Okay, right. But that's just as well because you failed your health check.
Oh.
And I've rolled my health check. I rolled a 7. So we both suffer no damage. We both take a combat action. And I guess the main event is going to be short sword having another attempt to persuade the heir's mother.
And I got nothing to try and hurt you with, so I guess you got free run at it here.
Okay, so I've drawn the challenge, which is going to be 2 with might or finesse.
There we go. That's not 4-8 anymore.
No,
and this is the peril again. So now Mother is not convinced that Short Sword has her best interest in mind. So he only needs 2 successes here.
We need 2 successes. So finesse is 3d8.
There you go.
And I'm never quite sure about the maths on this, whether it's better to roll more lower dice. But I think it always feels better. So I'm going to use quick-witted to drop a dice type and to gain 2 dice. So instead of 3d8, I'm going to be rolling 5d6.
That's good.
And I'm looking for 2 successes.
No successes.
In your dreams. So we're looking at we've got 2, 1 and a 2, which we can throw away, and that leaves
dang it.
2 4s and a 6, which kind of so she's not going to slap me around this turn, but I still need to overcome 2 with cunning or might. Obviously I've used quick-witted, so I can't use it again. Well,
I can't count on 2 turns of bad luck, so.
And cunning is something that I do quite well. So yeah, we're looking at 3 successes there.
All right, you have Mother. So you now have the heir. Oh my gosh! We screwed up so bad.
Yeah, well, he's not in the building yet, and my backup fella is also going to run to there. So neither of them are close enough to get in the building, but they're ready for next turn. And I'm in the unfortunate
So
position.
here's a note, Chris, and we're not going to change anything that's going on here because we're too much water under the bridge. But we missed a fairly significant rule that's at the very bottom of page number 5, and it says a character cannot attempt the major plot point unless they are holding the friendly introduction card. So the young lion, is that what he's called?
He is.
The young lion is actually the character that has the friendly introduction. So it was actually he, like right now, if we were playing it correctly, which we messed up, and it's not a big deal because trust me, folks, this is all about having fun much more than playing it correctly. So that would have been the only character on the entire table right now that would have been able to attempt to talk to the mother. None of my characters have completed the friendly introduction or have a friendly introduction, so we wouldn't even be able to talk to her.
But David, I think it will I think it would be more fun if we rolled it back. So I haven't got the major plot point, and everything to play for. So the heiress still needs 2 with might or finesse. So I guess the little fella wouldn't have talked to her. He would have been. So is there any benefit of? There's not really any benefit talking to any of the other potential.
There is, because if you talk to a minor plot point, you could draw a card, and there are four friendly introduction cards. So the short sword, he could get a friendly introduction card. Not only that, because she's already on the table, there's a rule about that as well, and you could move her a d8 inches in any direction that you choose if you get one.
Right. Okay. So we've wound it back. So short sword hasn't acted. There is another young lady, if you remember,
in the corner.
To that corner there.
I think she's luring him. I think she may be luring him into a trap.
Well, let's see how it goes. So he needs to see what's needed there.
Hey, you know what, Chris? Just because you already went through all of this, you already went through a peril and a plot point. Let's just say you passed it and jumped straight forward to drawing a scenario card. Yeah.
Okay.
rather than making you go over it all.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So, wrong foot forward. Wrong foot forward. I guess that's not a good thing to happen.
Move this plot point.
So, move the plot point to D8 in a random direction. Immediately return the card to the scenario stack, or attach it to the character for the remainder of the scenario. Okay, so he had. So after all of that, it wasn't the right lady to be talking to, or she got very upset. She's going to wander off a couple of inches in this direction.
Very cool.
And
are you gonna keep that card or throw it back?
Okay. Well, because it is handy to be more cunning, but short sword is only 2d6 on might. So in case he needs to use that, I'm going to put that card back and presumably shuffle it into the deck.
Yep. Shuffle them up. Shuffle them up.
Okay, so that has really changed the game a bit, but I say it's the first time either of us have played the scenario, and I think it's worth doing it right, isn't it?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so it's over to you because all of my characters have acted.
All of your characters have activated.
Yeah. So just to
Well,
remind you,
I still need to get a friendly introduction. I'm going to
he's
start with the advisor, and he's brawling with the giant. And
yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and brawl you again.
Okay. So we're now both rolling 3d8 because we've already taken a combat action.
Okay. I'm not gonna roll. I'm gonna roll more dice than that because I have Moxie. So I'm either going to roll 4 die 8 or 6 die 6. And I think I'll just go ahead and go for the 6 die 6. I'm going to go with 6d6 and see if I can get some clobbering done this time.
All right, because you've got Moxie and you've got Quick Strike.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lethal combination, isn't it?
Hopefully.
Right, so a mixed roll. You got a 1 and 3 2s, which will discard, and you got 2 6s, which are going to be quite hard for me to beat.
All right, let's see what you get.
The giant hasn't got any of those smooth moves. He's just relying on brute strength. So he's rolling 3d8. And he's got 3 successes.
Even the Christmas, okay.
So he's got a 4 and 2 6s.
All right, let's just say take them all. So you roll 2 dice health check, and I'll roll 3 dice health check.
Right. Okay. Brave man. So this is 3 for you, for the advisor, and you passed all of them. 5, 6, and 7.
Risk and reward.
And this is for the giant, and he's blown it. He's
Yay!
a 2 and a 4. So he takes now
that could have easily have gone bad, boys and girls, right? That could have easily have been a bad decision. It was risky. It was a very risky play, but in this case, Pulp Alley is has a strong sense of risk and reward because I took that risk. This time it paid off. Whew, yeah, that was close.
And it also rewards you with becoming a director, doesn't it?
Yep.
So there you go. The directorship is yours again.
Now, where is the beggar? Let's see. I have a fella on there, the beggar.
The beggar is just standing to the left of the advisor.
Okay. All right, I'm going to move these. Oh, crap. That rowdy party is a huge area. We have to remember that's not just the size of that template. That's a full 6-inch diameter.
Yeah.
That's a full 6-inch diameter. All of the plot points are going to move at the end of the turn, so they're not going to be where they are now. What do I do with the beggar? I'm going to have to pull him back. I'm going to have to pull the beggar back. I'm going to move the beggar back towards the main. No, I'm going to move the beggar towards the captain, but staying out of range of the rowdy party. And you know what? I'm just going to run because the running is no longer a problem. So I'm going to run around and just stand me back there beside the captain.
Okay. Yeah, so you've got enough distance to be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
And if you could, I think I'd rather be on the safer side of the captain. I'd rather be like next to the wall that's furthest away from the rowdy party. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Playing it
Yeah.
cautious.
Yeah. Well, that's what beggars do. You know, that's we gotta. All right. I only have one character left, and that's going to be the master thief, and he's going to move, or master spy, the spy master. He's going to move just 1 inch and try to talk to Darley here, and draw me a peril.
Okay, so you're looking at 2 with might or finesse.
Oh dear. So 3 die 8 again. I'll go ahead and change that into 5d6. 5d6.
Okay.
And I need 2 of them.
Yes. So got a 2 and a 3 that are discarded, and that leaves you with a 4, 5, and 6. Is plenty.
All right,
Okay,
draw me a plot point.
So she's not giving you the cold shoulder.
No.
And to find out what you need to know, you just need 2 with finesse or cunning.
All right, cunning it is.
Cunning is what the spy master is good at.
48.
And we have a 1 and a 2 that are discarded, and that leaves you with 2 successes.
All right, so I get a random yellow card.
You do?
1 random yellow card.
Oh, you're not going to believe it. It's
Friendly introduction.
It's a wrong foot forward again.
Oh my gosh. No.
Oh no.
No.
Who wrote this scenario?
Oh my, who comes up with this stuff?
Right, so she's not moving a million miles away, so just two inches in a southerly direction.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I think that.
So do you want to
I have to decide. Doggone it. Can't believe you put that back in there, Chris. I know what you did there. You put that back in there. I'm blaming you for that one. Gosh.
So do you want to add 1 to your cunning and take 1 away from your might, or put it back in the deck?
Let me look at that card. Let's see. I'm gonna look at it on the screen here. Tasha gives me another +1 to my cunning and -1 to my might. Doggone it. I don't want it in there anymore. I guess I'll go ahead and take it.
There's might down to a D6. Let's hope you don't live to regret that.
Yeah, I know, but I need it out of there. I mean, that definitely cost me there. And that ends the turn.
That ends the turn. So my giant has been wounded, so he needs to roll a recovery check.
Yep.
And he's rolled a 5, so he pulls himself together and removes the ouch.
Yep.
And now we need to roll for movement of things.
Oh yeah, all of them.
Yep. So we'll start off with the rowdy crowd.
Okay.
And that moves 3 inches in that direction.
That's not good.
Yeah, well,
that's going to cover a lot of stuff, I think.
So it's
well, we still have to move all the other ones. We'll see.
We do. So I think your bigger is maybe going to be within.
All right. It looks like it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he could be just.
We'll roll a d6. If on a 4, 5, or 6, he's out of it.
No, he's just within.
All right.
Right. So let's start with the lady you were talking to this turn.
All right.
She moves 3 inches in a easterly direction.
All right.
Putting her over there. The mother of the heir.
That's a big one.
She moves 5 inches.
Oh.
So that's the wrong side the rowdy crowd. That's
Yeah, she's back in. She's in the rowdy crowd. Yeah,
that's inconvenient.
it is.
The captain, yeah, he's not sure what he's doing. He's popping back into the back room. Maybe there was some unfinished business going on there.
I don't think he likes the rowdy crowd.
Yeah,
I think he wants to get away from the rowdy crowd.
that kind of makes sense. And our other young lady by the bar. Okay, so she moved 7 inches in that direction, but because there's a wall without any doors, I guess we
Fine.
leave her where she is.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So I'm going to take one of these rounds out of the chamber to remind us we've
Yep.
got 5 turns left.
Uh-oh, we are running out of time.